With Alan Galloway. Hey, I'm speaking for the first time publicly about the allegations that our crematory was causing an individual son and father to get sick. Here is the real story. Ronnie Osgood said, and his son, little Ronnie, said that the smoke from our crematorium caused him to be sick, caused both of them to be sick. They said we were burning bodies out in a pit behind the building. And that pictures to show that we're burning bodies behind in the pit. And every time we burn a body, by the time the sheriff gets there, we've covered up the pit. Now, for anyone to believe a thing like that, you have to be out of your mind. You can go on YouTube and see how long it takes to have a body cremated. It takes 2.5 to 3 hours to cremate a body. That's one. Now, if we were going to cremate a body and it make them sick, then every time the sheriff they call the sheriff, and how would we know when they call the sheriff? We cover up the pit. Sheriff would come and find no pit and nobody being burned. And this showed a little smoke coming from the trash was being burned. They called WSAV TV, Channel 3 in Savannah, Georgia. Young lady came out, did an interview with Ronnie Osgood and his son. And I was told, my wife called me and said the TV station person was here. I said, when I spoke to her, I said, well, please do not run the story until you see the truth. Because we're doing a cremation on tomorrow, you can certainly come by and witness a cremation. She said, no, I'm going to run the story. I said, well, you can witness a cremation tomorrow. Let's give us time so you will see for yourself. She refused. She called me back and said that, well, my supervisor said that we could not witness a cremation. I said, okay. She ran the story. And naturally, our attorney wrote them a letter, asked them to cease and desist, and they stopped. So they said, but it ran every 10 to 15 minutes for the next few days or maybe a week. Here's the story. In order to cremate a body, you have to have a permit. You have to have a machine because you have to cremate a body. The temperature is 2,500 degrees to 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit for 2.5 hours. It is impossible to do that in a pit. Impossible. The story that was done, the individual never looked at our crematory, never showed our building where the crematory was. She said that she smelled the body and it was just very unbearable. Well, a couple of days later, the next day she called and said, well, can we still come out on in the next 2 days to witness, to talk to you? I said, yes, come on. In the meantime, DHEC came, Department of Health, Education, and Welfare. DHEC came. I said, DHEC will be here when you get here. DHEC came early that morning. The very next day, DHEC came with an investigator, with a camera, and a meter to determine smoke. DHEC said, do not do anything until we get there. Do not turn on the machine. I said, okay, we're going to witness this from start to finish. DHEC came. We turned the machine on after he got here. We pushed the person into the crematory. DHEC picked the temperature, took a picture of the temperature gauge, and said, okay, go ahead, let's get started. We got started, put the patient in, closed the door. He said, I'm going outside to see about the smoke. He said, there's no smoke. He said, I don't smell anything. In the meantime, television station candidate came and he said, I'd like to talk to you. I said, well, let's look at this pit that you saw, that you said you saw. Went over to, and I said, I'm glad you have your camera person here. Let's look at the pit. We went over to where she said the pit was. I said, you seen it? Any disturbing of the soil? No. You see, it looks as though there was any burning here? She said, no. I said, well, you said it was a pit. It was smoke. You saw smoke and you smelled something. I said, have your cameraman to record that there's no smoke. There's no pit. There's no burning here, and you don't smell anything. Do you smell anything? No. I said, now, let me show you where my crematory is. I took it to where the crematory was. We just bought a brand new crematory. I said, there it is. See, you never said where it was. You said it was out in the pit. I said, you smell anything? She said, no. She said, are you cremating the body now? I said, yes. The body's being cremated right now. Do you see it? Do you smell anything? No. The cameraman to record it. Do you see anything? Do you smell anything? She said, no. She said, why would this man say that? I said, I don't know. Gotta ask him. She said, let's look out on the outside. Do you see any smoke? No. You smell anything? No. I said, but you recorded that you smelled something and it was smoke. But not today. We're doing the cremation while you were here. And DHEC is on the outside. And DHEC have said over and over that they smell nothing. They were there after she left, they were there for over 3 hours, reporting every 10 to 15 minutes, taking pictures of what's going on. So the lady said, the news reporter said, I'd like to sit down and talk to you. Why would your neighbor say what he did? I said, you need to ask my neighbor, why did he say what he did? I said, I don't know why he said it. I said, I wanted to talk to you a couple of days ago, but you don't want to talk then. And I don't want to talk now. I want you to know DHEC has been out to my facility 4 different times, found nothing wrong. And the first time they came, the paperwork was not exactly wasn't about reason. The paperwork was incorrect. We didn't have all the paperwork that we should have had, and it's a matter of going on, downloading, coming to straight. There was no violation at all whatsoever. Burning of a human being, burning of a human body, none. DHEC was out here 4 times. And another person from DHEC came out 2 times. Nothing. Called the funeral board. They were out here 2 times. Unannounced. No one knew they were coming. They checked on everything. No problems. The fire department was out here checking. We could not find us burning any bodies whatsoever. The health department from Jasper County came out, found no problems whatsoever. The Environmental Protection Agency sent an investigator down, no problems whatsoever. We've had 10 different investigations of this crematory, and nothing has ever been found that we've done anything wrong. Nothing, never. But we submit to you, that is the truth. We call DHEC in Columbia, call the Environmental Protection Agency in Washington, D.C., call Jasper County, business license, health department, any organization that you choose to call the funeral board in Columbia, ask them. Not one violation. So they want to know, why are we getting complaints from next door? We don't know. They've not spoken to the young man about why he said what he did, why the complaints coming in. Of course, he did say, someone said he was upset because there were green Martians parked on my property, looking at his house, and will know that I called the green Martians to come to investigate it. So no, I to tell him I don't know the green Martians, but I'm sure they didn't come to bother him. So he told them that he's watching the spaceship that comes in there on a regular basis. I said, there's no spaceship. I said, well, go ahead and report that to WSAB TV, Channel 3 in Savannah, Georgia, and see if they come down to cover that story. I said, that sounds like a pretty good logical story to me. But as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing that we have ever done. We've had 10 different investigations. Nothing has been proven that we've done anything wrong. And we have the air quality certificate from DHEC, and it's available online. Please, ma'am, and please, sir, do not believe everything that you hear and see on television. This is Alan Galloway. I am the proprietor, or one of the proprietors of the crematory that we've seen on television, made allegations by Ronnie Osgood Sr. and Ronnie Osgood Jr., and they were all false. I submit to you, you can always find us at the crematory doing business. God bless you. And that is my story from the Allen Funeral.